Okay, I gotta do a wipe down myself. Let's see if we're
Tony,
live.
I have to say, the movie was a very interesting movie.
It is. It really is.
Oh man.
It's not interesting bad. It's just very interesting because you had me in the. Well, I'll save it. I'll save it. I don't want to say
Yeah,
it.
Yeah.
all right. I guess we're live now. So Tony, it's your show.
Yo, what's up? It's BatYard's finest coming at you on a Wednesday. It's a Wednesday, right? I think it's a
Yeah,
Wednesday.
Don't
yeah.
ask me. My
It's a
sense of time
Wednesday.
is gone.
I'm feeling the same way, man. So this is Tony, and right next to me I got.
I'm Jerry, and next to me, I've got
I'm Josh from Metropolis. It's good to be here.
So today we got an interesting one for you.
very.
For the short, we're gonna go over Creature Commandos, the James Gunn. It's the first thing in the new DCU, so I thought it'd be an interesting thing to watch since we just watched Superman. And then the main attraction is going to be One Cut of the Dead, a movie I've been wanting to get to for a while. But first, we're going to do some BSBS, where we just talk about comic books, movies, any news, any nerd news. Does anyone
I
have anything
actually
interesting?
have a little bit of news, and I'm mad at myself because I missed it. It's not really like nerd news, but it was just cool as fuck that they did it. So they put like the original Texas Chainsaw back in theaters like 2 weeks ago on August 18th. And I was gonna go because I was like, oh, I haven't seen the original in a long, long time. Because I think the last time I did it, it was on I think like IFC or somewhere was playing it for free for some odd reason. And I was like, oh, that'd be cool to go see in theaters because I missed fucking Ghostbusters and I was mad at myself about that one. And they also played Ninja Turtle Secret of the Ooze in theater. So I was like, what's
Oh,
with all these anniversary movies coming
that's
out right
kind of
now?
wild. That's AMC.
I think it's AMC and Regal.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I know Regal does that stuff.
I heard
Yeah.
Regal, yeah, Regal September. I saw something where it's going to be nuts. Like they have like a ton of things, like one every day. Like it's going to be sick.
Yeah, and I think there's another one. I'd have to check really quick that I'm looking very forward to. That's coming soon, but don't wait for me, please, Josh. Take the floor.
I just wanted to mention I don't really have news, but just like things I've been like reading, comic book wise. I read Spider-Man Blue by Tim Sale and Jeff Loeb. That was pretty interesting. That's one I've been wanting to read. They did All Star, not All Star. They did Superman All Seasons and Batman: A Long Halloween. So I wanted to see what they did with Marvel, and it's basically like the death of Gwen Stacy from a different perspective. It's a little different, but they don't even really get into the death of Gwen Stacy. It's like kind of like the lead up to it, and it's like from Peter's perspective, like after the fact, like after he marries Mary Jane, and like he's like reminiscing about it. So it's like kind of from that
Oh, that's
perspective.
cool.
Yeah, it's. I like the art a lot. I like Tim Sale's art a lot. I wish I had the book with me. I would show you, but yeah, that was definitely worth a read. Also, I saw Back to the Future with a live orchestra in Saratoga at SPAC.
Oh,
That was really cool. I just did that last weekend. So that was fun. Like that was I love the themes and like the whole soundtrack of that movie. So like it definitely gave me goosebumps watching it, especially like live with the movie. And yeah, they added a lot more motifs, like music throughout it, just to kind of like fill in some of the, just to give like I guess the orchestra something to do, and it definitely elevated the movie at least for live. Oh, where did Tony go?
Tony.
Bye, Tony. I'm just gonna keep talking, and hopefully Tony rejoins.
That was
um,
funny.
so that was really fun. I really enjoyed that, and like I don't know. That's a movie I always like pick up more details every time I watch it. Like I can never get old. That movie never gets old to me. So that was really fun. That was over the weekend.
I also have a little bit more news. I finally found the other movies that are coming out on re-release in theaters. They're doing Sam Raimi's like Spider-Man trilogy with Tobey Maguire, which I was like, I did go see the first one in theaters when I was younger, so
Oh,
that was
that's
really
cool.
dope.
Oh, you saw the first one's coming out?
All three are coming out.
Oh, that's sweet.
And then what else? The Dark Crystal is also coming in theaters. I've been wanting to watch that in theaters because I watched it in school because, it's the end of the year. You just put on a movie and let it play all day kind of deal.
That's cool. I don't think I actually ever seen that movie. That's like one that's been on my list. I haven't seen.
And then
Is that which one's the one with David Bowie?
Dark Crystal's the one.
That's Labyrinth.
Yeah, that's Labyrinth.
Okay. Yeah, I seen Labyrinth. I haven't seen Dark Crystal. I seen the show, the Netflix show that like continued on. That was fun.
And then Paranorman is coming back remastered in 3D, and that's a personal favorite Halloween movie of mine. Like, it's not. I'm not gonna say it's like it's bad, but it's something I like to watch every year because it's a good just sit down Halloween movie.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I don't have nothing better to do. Let me burn an hour, like 40 minutes, I think it is.
Yeah, I only seen it once, and when I saw it, I liked it. I didn't like fall in love with it, but I like the animation a lot.
Yeah, I watch it. If not every year, I try every other year because every time I watch it, I pick up on new details because you've seen it so many times. You just look for other things, and I'm like, for something that came out so long ago, this was very well put together. And I'm glad that it was just a one-off. They never continued on with it more. But it's definitely one of those stories like, oh, you bully the weird kid, but you need the weird kid to fix, help save the world and whatnot because of some messed up stuff that everybody else did doing the same thing a long time ago, and it's coming back to bite them.
Yeah, that's true.
But that's cool. For my other news, I went to Anime NYC this past week. I enjoyed myself, and it was a lot of fun. It was really, really cool. Because I've never been to it before. Like, I see stories, I see the recaps people are talking about, like, oh, this or that. But like, being there and seeing everything, I'm like, I see what people talk about. Like, it was a lot of fun. Some things definitely could have been handled better, though. Not in as far as like how staff was treating, like the event goers, because everybody was, well, to me, let me say, I didn't have any issues out of the staff and whatnot. But I will say, like, some of the other con goers, not that anybody was particularly rude, but it was like, all right, I know this is a really big event and there's a lot of people here. So, how about we keep, the flow of foot traffic moving at a nice even pace? And how about we not just stop in the dead center of it to try to talk to somebody or, buy something that you're interested in? But it was a ton of fun. I definitely had a lot of overwhelming moments because I've always heard it's a lot of people. But this year, I finally got to see it, and I was like, "Yeah, I don't have a problem with crowds, but it's overwhelming if you've never been in a sea of people like that."
Yeah, I think I saw some of your stories. That looked like it was a good time. I think I know someone who had a table there, like had an artist table there. So I was like asking her like her perspective of it, but yeah.
Wait, what was she selling? Because I might have actually went up to her table.
It was like more like comics and artwork, and like stickers. I know that's pretty generic, but that could be anybody.
Have her send you a sample picture because there was a few that I actually did like actively look at. Like, oh, I'm gonna come back later.
What's up?
Hey, Tony. Tony's back. Don't worry. It was just BS.
My webcam decided to die, and I had to restart my whole computer, and that fixed it for some reason. It's like a physical webcam, so I don't know.
I don't know how that works.
I don't
but
know.
you're the techie. You know more about that stuff than I do.
I guess.
Yeah, Darius just telling us that he went to Anime Con in New York City.
Oh,
so like he was. He's up in the state.
Yeah,
it was awesome.
It was a ton of fun. If people were curious, I would say do it as kind of a one-time deal because it's not like it was super expensive or anything, but definitely being in that much of a crowd of people, like if you have any kind of like anxiety about large crowds or just being in a constant flow of people shuffling. Like it is overwhelming. And I did have to take, 4 or 5, few minute breaks to just kind of recompose myself from being overwhelmed by that many people. But it was a lot of fun. I got some autographs. I got to talk with a couple of voice actors. When the lines weren't terribly long, because some lines they had capped at 2 or 3 different points in the day. In one line, they did an extension after they capped it. So it's just like, Jesus Christ. I understand, this is your time to go meet somebody you want to, but Lord have mercy.
What autographs did you get, and who did you talk to?
I mess up her name, but she's a voice actress who does a lot of anime stuff that I watch. She's pretty good. She was very friendly. Her line wasn't too terribly busy, so we had time to just have some one-on-one conversations. And she was a really sweet lady. I got to meet the I got to meet the voice actor Lex Lang. He did War Greymon for Digimon. He's Fire Lord Sozai in Avatar: The Last Airbender, and he's Han Solo in a Star Wars game. Like he's got a bunch of voices under his belt. Then he was also in a Power Ranger series, if I'm not mistaken.
Lex Mane, like Mane, or
Lang, Lang.
Oh, Lang. Oh, Lang. Okay.
Yeah, and then who else? I got to see Kaji Tang. He also does, some anime and cartoon voices. And his line was the one that they capped twice with an extension. And, of course, there was, I think, about 4 or 5 other, just celebrities there. And there was one autograph I really wanted to try to get from a YouTuber. His name's Corey Kenshin. He came, but it wasn't so much like you get to do a meet and greet kind of deal. It was like he just was there as a celebrity for a couple of minutes and then he was leaving. And the only way you could get an autograph from him is if you did like a ticketed lottery system. Like, you enter and, you have a chance to get it or you don't. You just got that kind of deal. Which was really kind of frustrating because, I like his content. He's a good, wholesome guy. He was in the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. And, he's just real family friendly. And I was like, oh, he's, a genuine nice guy. So I was like, it'd be dope if I could kind of get to meet him for like, 2 minutes if possible. But that's one complaint. They didn't really handle that well or really make it clear what he was going to be doing. But, that's neither here nor there. The con's already over. So that's something, I'm going to fill out in the post-con survey that's sitting in my email right now.
Oh, like how your experience was and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
that's cool. If I was there, I would have wanted Jerry Nelson's autograph. That's whose autograph I would want if I was there.
I did take a couple of pictures with some people because I did dress up a little bit, not anything kind of crazy, but just a little something. And
That's
people were like, "Oh, I like your costume. Mind if I take a picture?" I was like, "Yeah, that's fine." And there was obviously, a lot more just going on that I just, first time going, I was just overwhelmed by like, wow, there's something going on like every half hour, damn near half hour to 45 minutes, excuse me. But yeah, that was, Anime NYC was a lot of fun. It was a real cool experience.
So you wouldn't do it again or like do New York Comic Con kind of thing?
I would do it again, but it would depend on who they have as a guest list.
Right.
Because, some of the more like big S class like names, if it was something like that, I would probably skip that year just because, the bigger the name, the more people come kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not that I have a problem with it or I wouldn't do it if it's somebody I really wanted to. But, I'm like, I'm getting older. I'm not really so much for that hustle and bustle waiting in line for 4 to 5 hours to have a couple minutes with somebody.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that.
Yeah, I feel that.
Was this at the Javits Center or did it was like a big venue? Oh, yeah, that's a pretty, yeah.
It was. I've never been in. Like I've heard, I've seen people talk about how big it is, and I was like, "Whoa, it's huge in there." Because I think the closest we really have to something like that might be the Bridgestone Arena, but that's like for our hockey games, occasional like concerts and stuff like that. But even still, like it's a big place, but Javits is still much bigger than that.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
I'm trying to think. What else happened?
I got one.
Please go ahead, Tony.
The new Lego Batman.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I saw that.
It's gonna be so good. They just, if you watch any of the videos, they just ripped. I wouldn't say ripped. It's a spiritual successor to the Arkham games. Like it just is. Like the combat looks like Arkham. It's like an open world like Arkham. Like it looks like, and then they have like the predator prey like thing where you're like flying around and you can like do stealth kills on people. Like it looks like it's gonna be like an Arkham game in like Legos.
I know they're like taking bits from like each movie and then some from the Arkham games. But like what confused me when I was watching like a trailer or something for it, there were like scenes from the movies, but like the character models themselves looked like character models from different movies. Like it was like the Joker that was supposed to be like from the Dark Knight, but it looked like I don't know, Jack Nicholson Joker. And then there's a point where it's like the Penguin with that
the flipped car.
Yeah, with that driving sequence, like where Batmobile's chasing him down the streets of Gotham City, and the Batman with Robert Pattinson. That model of that Penguin looked more like the Danny DeVito Penguin. So I was like really confused, like by that. Like I'm like, is it like just kind of like anything goes, or like is it like each world's their own movie? But like, or is it just like one linear story? I'm still like trying to figure out like what the game actually is.
Yeah, I kind of noticed that too. Specifically, with the Penguin, it was like he doesn't look like Colin Farrell. Like he looks messed up.
It looked more like Danny DeVito's like grungy, monstrous looking version. So I mean, I'm not mad. I'm just trying to still figure out like what it is,
They might. I was hoping it would just be like a career for like each. I don't know. I was hoping maybe it would be like a career for each movie, and then like have like more stories. But the fact that they don't like have costumes for each of the movies makes me think that they aren't doing that. Maybe just like they'll just pull missions from movies. I don't know.
That's what I'm wondering. I know they kind of did that with like the Lego Batman 3 game, the last one that came out. There's like an Adam West like specific level, but you play like as the Adam West Batman, and like that's when he was still live, so he like still voiced Batman. So that was like really fun.
That's funny.
Yeah,
that's cool.
He was voicing Batman in the game.
Yeah, well, he voiced Batman for like that level.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
The last thing I just wanted to add, they've put out another trailer for Tron Ares, and I was like, I'm not gonna look at it, but I looked at it. I caved. I don't have anything against Jared Leto. It's weird seeing him in a Tron movie.
Oh man!
But I think that this is going to be the most interesting take for Tron because we're not going to the digital world anymore. They're coming to our world. And so it's like, my thing is like, okay, well, what are they going to do? Because a tank isn't going to kill a light cycle.
Right.
That's just not going to work. And then, all the AI fighter jets and everything. I'm like, what? Where's Flynn? Where's Tron? What are we going to do? But it does look good. They definitely look like they're going to nail the real kind of augmented reality part of it down really good. Because I saw I think it was maybe like a minute and 40-second trailer. The light cycles look, still spot on. The beams look very good, all things considered. And even the big flying tower looks better than what I thought it was. I thought it was going to look more kind of clunky. and CGI, but I think they're putting some real heart and soul into this one, and I hope that they do it justice because I have been wanting another Tron movie for years.
Is Jeff Bridges in it, or is it just Jared Leto?
It's only been Jared Leto that I've seen so far. I'm trying to really just go into this blind and not look at the cast or anything, so it would dissuade me.
Right. And you want to leave those surprises open too when you
yeah, because I haven't during the trailer I was looking for any kind of nose like okay Tron's playing for this side or that side or Tron's gonna come in and help save the day. But I haven't, as far as I could tell, it wasn't anything like that, unless they're having Jared Leto play Tron, which I wouldn't, hold anything past. But I'm excited for it. This is going to be hopefully one of my new favorite Tron movies.
I'm really not a Jared Leto fan, so
no, I don't have anything against him. I don't think he's a bad actor. I don't think he's
bad either. I think he's just overexposed and fucking annoying and cultish.
I think he gets some real shitty script. Yes, because I finally watched Morbius and I was like, it's not as bad as people say, but the script was really what fucked everything over.
Yeah, the trailer looked really good. I forget what movie I saw before, but like the longer one. I think the art style looks really good. I really like it looks like it's like beautifully shot. Like it looks very good visually and it looks interesting. And the soundtrack is by 9 Inch Nails, which is really exciting.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't even see that.
Cool. Yeah. That's
so
like
that's
the most exciting thing I heard about it.
Yeah, but I fucking do not like Jared Leto. I feel like he has to have some. I feel like the consensus of a lot of people is they don't like him, so he must have like some dirt on someone. I don't know how he gets all these roles.
Right.
Anyway,
yeah, that's especially having like those like major flops like after Morbius, like you're the main headliner actor, and then like you're still, like a headliner in these other movies. I don't know. You would think you could like take a back seat. I don't know.
Yeah,
he's not really a draw.
Yeah. He's like a supporting role.
Yeah, he's fine in that. Like I like him in American Psycho when he dies. That was good.
I still haven't watched it.
I didn't even know he was in that, and I watched the movie.
Been sitting on my list forever.
Yeah, that's a good movie. Maybe in the future. We'll see. Oh, the one thing I just wanted to add to our Superman review from last time was, that I liked how, this is the one thing I didn't mention that like Superman. Like there were stakes for Superman, like when all those like metal beads or like the metal from that lady like were like infecting his bloodstream and like going into his eye sockets and like you thought like there was a point where he could actually potentially die. You're like, oh shit, Superman could die at this moment. I thought that was like another added part of the movie that I really enjoyed, that like there was like stakes to like the physical being of Superman without just like kryptonite, it's like, oh shit, he might just die, so I did enjoy that.
I like that a lot too.
Yeah, I did forget about that. That was nice. Like not nice is like, oh, Superman might die, but it's like, oh,
there was like some stakes for the character.
Like, there's actual stakes,
I have one more BSPS I just remembered. Peacemaker season 2 is starting. And it's,
I saw this first episode. I mean, I saw.
Yeah, I forgot that it was still coming out. How was it?
It was pretty good. It was definitely a setup episode. Like they're setting stuff up for the future.
Right. And they totally retconned the whole ending of the DC universe.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That's what I loved. I thought that was so funny. I was crying laughing.
Yeah, that was. I mean, like it didn't bother me at all. I was like, okay, yeah, this is super fitting, and it's still James Gunn, like everything. So like, I don't blame him at all.
Yeah,
I was like, yeah, this makes sense.
Yeah,
that's funny.
Yeah, so like the Justice League, you see, I don't know if you saw Peacemaker. Did you see the first season, Jerry?
It's been a while. I've watched it, but it's like that. It's so much has happened in between all that. It's sitting in a pocket of my mind.
It's definitely a good show, but like at the ending, like the Justice League finally show up, and it's like, the Justice League of like Zack Snyder's
Mhm.
Justice League that show up. And then in the new episode, when like kind of like recap it, they just replaced that Justice League with the Justice Gang from like Superman, like the new Superman.
That's still
So,
cracking
like,
me up just.
Yeah, I thought that was great. I thought that was funny.
But that's everything that I have. So Tony, if you
Yeah,
want to
Tony.
Okay, yeah. So for our first feature, we're gonna be talking about James Gunn's Creature Commando. Is he in the Creature Commandos?
Yeah, she's one of
She's
think so.
Bird.
little burb.
We're gonna be talking about Creature Commandos Season 1, Episode 1. I think I'm gonna give this one to Jerry.
So Creature Commandos. It starts off with an attack on a country whose name I am absolutely going to butcher. I'm just going to call it Polka Dance because that's what it made me think of. And we see that Amanda Walker, not Wahlberg, ooh, Lord. She's enlisting some non-humans to go out because she got blacklisted for putting human lives in jeopardy. And so she was like, okay, you guys go out here, fix what's going on, and then along the way, what's his name? Oh, I just watched this. My memory's so bad. But the flag guy, Captain Flag, he,
yeah.
it's always, he gets into such shenanigans. Somebody tries to get a hold of a detonator. The radioactive guy, his name's Frankenstein, right?
There's Frankenstein like on the boat, and then there's like the atomic skull guy.
The atomic skull guy. That's what I'm talking about.
I don't know what his name is.
Like character names are here in one ear, out the other.
Yeah.
And so they basically try to save the day. They do a very unusual job as usual per anybody dealing with Amanda Walker, and that was it. A lot happened in between, but thinking about Anime NYC and talking about it has pushed a lot of that out.
That's fair. I mean, it's basically just setting up the team and like what their next mission is going to be. It just feels like basically the new Suicide Squad for like this universe.
I was trying not to say Suicide Squad because I definitely would not have gotten anything right at that point.
Yeah, it's Rick Flag's father, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
And then this was interesting because it makes it clear that they're keeping some of Suicide Squad like canon.
Right. That's what I'm trying to figure out, like what is canon and what isn't. Like I guess the whole James Gunn's The Suicide Squad is canon. Yeah, but then it makes me think like
the vibe it gave. I was like, so you're going with the Suicide Squad instead of the regular Suicide Squad. And so now you're just kind of pulling bits and pieces from that because James Gunn did it. Which, I mean, is fine. I don't have an issue with it. But, there was things from James Gunn's Suicide Squad I didn't really too much care for. But that's not what we're here talking about. I really loved the animation for this and how each character came in. Because the radioactive skullhead guy, he's definitely my favorite. I love him.
Yeah,
give me more of him. Because I forgot I started this when it originally came out. And then I think I got halfway through the season. So I maybe ended on like episode 3 or 4 because I dropped it unintentionally because I started watching another show. But I was like, wow, this is like, I enjoyed everything. It was fun. The banter between the characters was really good. And then it was also nice just seeing new faces. I'm still so tired of the same faces always being used over and over again. I'm also about to look up these people's names so I don't fuck it up.
Oh, it's like Dr. Phosphorus.
Yeah.
Dr. Phosphorus. Oh, that's intimidating.
The only one I remember is G.I. Robot and Bride of Frankenstein.
G.I. Robot who just like wants to murder Nazis. Which
yeah.
And then Weasel, who is in the Suicide Squad.
Yeah, he's in the Suicide Squad. So it's like makes you think, like, is Harley
Weasel.
Quinn gonna be the same Harley Quinn in this universe, or like what are they
Probably.
switching over? You know, it just makes you kind of think,
Mhm.
like, what's canon from that universe to this one, which is fine. I don't really mind. I'm just kind of curious, which makes sense. James Gunn worked on all of them, so like, why wouldn't he take like elements from his own creation? You know?
Yeah. The Bride of Frankenstein, when I saw her, I was like, boy, this is weird because, every time I see Frankenstein, anything to do with Frankenstein, I think of the man and not the bride. So I was like, man, this is taking me for a little loop. Where's the man at? Where's the big amalgamation zombie fella?
Yeah. Yeah, I thought the show was really fun. I like the setup. I thought the animation was pretty good. Obviously the writing's great because of James Gunn.
Yeah.
I only seen the first episode, so like this is just like feels like the build up until like the richer story. I don't. Have you seen the whole season, Tony? Or
I have, yeah. It's pretty interesting. Without going into spoilers, like they do have like an overarching story, but it's interesting because like each episode they like do a different character's backstory, like cut in between. So like the next episode is the Bride of Frankenstein's episode, basically,
Okay.
and then they use
like
that
their
to like
origin?
yeah, and they tie the origin into what's happening, and they do that for like every character. So it's like
Oh,
pretty
that's
cool.
cool.
Oh, I like that. Yeah,
How many?
because I do remember that from the few episodes I watched. Yeah, you are right, Tony.
How many episodes are there?
It's like 7 or
8,
8, right? It's not
something like
many.
that. And
Oh, only 8.
the
Okay.
cool, I mean, it's not cool, but all of the backstories are like extremely tragic. It's like the saddest show I've ever watched. But like,
Really?
it's still like,
Pretty
yeah,
fucked
it's
up.
crazy. It's really good.
Oh man, I gotta watch it.
Yeah, it's only 7 episodes.
Yeah,
But
that's
yeah,
cool.
this animation, from having Batman the Animated Series to Superman to Green Lantern, this was just a whole different ball game that I just wasn't prepared, like not prepared for in a good way. Because I was like, I think the animation looks pretty nice and it's holding my attention. But the more that I watched it, I was like, wow, this animation's really like captivating because it's not what I'm used to as far as how they've done it with a lot of other cartoons or just adult animations in general, where it's like, oh, let's make everything real bright, colorful, vivid, and just pop to hold your attention and do other things like that. Like there's a lot of different hues to showcase all the different emotions for stuff. And I also like how each character does not look like somebody else. Like everyone has their own
Yeah, they all.
color palette
Yeah,
and color profile.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Excuse me.
Like, I like that they're not afraid to. I mean, like even aside from the monsters, like make people look like unrealistic. Like they have like an art style. Like the big John, like the guy that like plays the joke on them was like, oh, you didn't bow properly. Like he's drawn to be like huge and like towering over like the other people on the team, even though they're like, I don't know, like there's still like some art style to it. Like it's not just like, I don't know, everyone looks the same. I agree with what you're saying. I think it's cool.
Jerry disappeared. Oh, he's coming back. Should we go into ratings, Tony?
Yeah, we can do this. Yeah. I don't know. Should I start? Should you start? How are we doing it? We can do right to left.
It doesn't matter. I guess I'll start. I'll just give this. I'll give this a solid 7 out of 10. I feel like I'll give it a higher rating once I watch the whole season. But like first start, I give it a 7 out of 10. Very good. I really enjoyed it. The writing's great, and I thought it was funny that they animated James Gunn like in the beginning, like written by James Gunn. And it's like he's like his own whole caricature, which I kind of hope they show him in the show or something. I don't think that'll happen. But.
I was choking on water, gentlemen. I apologize.
Well, that's okay. We all got to be hydrated.
I'll go next. I'll also follow behind Josh. I watched a little bit more of this, so I'm definitely gonna keep it at a very good 7. It definitely, like you said, Tony, everybody's backstory is so fucking tragic. I hate it because I don't want to be emotionally devastated like that for people that I'm getting emotionally invested in as far as the show is concerned. But it's a very different way to write another Suicide Squad without calling them the Suicide Squad.
Yeah, that's true.
This episode, I'd probably give a 7 too. I think it's a good setup episode, but like it's kind of hard with like episode ones because you can't do too much. You just gotta like show everyone. I feel the same way about Peacemaker. Like episode 1 of Peacemaker was decent, but the whole rest of the show was amazing. Like, so I'd probably give the whole show as a whole like a 9. But yeah, it's definitely worth watching.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, especially if you just want something different out of a show from the norm that we've had over the last couple years.
Yeah,
I'll definitely finish it because I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's funny. It's the first DC like official DC thing. Like,
yeah, so this came before Superman did, right?
Yeah, and it's the first thing with like the DC Studios like seal in the beginning where he's like where it's Superman and he like has the chest and it says DC Studios. So it's the first thing that has that watermark of like the new DC. Okay. So it's kind of funny that it's animated.
I thought they were gonna like switch the character for each movie. Like they're gonna show DC and then like whatever the prominent character for that movie or whatever.
Done that with Peacemaker.
I thought they were gonna do that. Yeah, I guess they didn't.
I would have loved that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think we're gonna go into our main event of the evening, which is gonna be One Cut of the Dead. And I'm gonna give that one to Josh, who I chose because you have a history of making backyard movies that this kind of reminded me of.
Yeah. While I was watching this, it felt like something I would have made back in high school, at least the beginning part. Anyway, it's like basically it starts out where it's a zombie movie being filmed that's like one shot. It's supposed to be like one take, and they're like making a movie within the movie, and then the director is like basically forcing on like actual zombies within the context of this part of the movie. And then there's actual zombies attacking them because the director's crazy and is just trying to get as much realistic acting and footage as possible. So he's like, all right, we need real zombies for this real movie. And then the credits scroll, and then it's just the girl just staring up into the abyss, into the sky, and then it cuts to the beginning of how they started the casting and put this movie together. And then it kind of goes into the making of the movie, like what you saw already, but you get to see the wider frame of like the boom and like the camera operator and who was where at what moment. Like there's a shot where they're just focusing on the female lead and she's just screaming, and then you get to see what actually happened around her during that. So it's like it's very interesting in that regard where like the more it seems like the more you watch it, the more you pick up on the details and stuff. Yeah, so it seemed like one of those kind of movies. Like it seemed like it was definitely like its own original concept. I guess like this budget for this movie was like $25,000 or something, really minuscule. So like with the creativity and with the budget they had, it's definitely very admirable. Yeah, it's. I don't want to talk too much, but I thought the execution was really well played.
Tony, you had me in the first half. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, this movie is fucking terrible. What's going on?
I did kind of feel that way too, not gonna lie. And then like once the credits rolled, my girlfriend was like watching it with me, and she was like complaining about the movie the whole time. She's like, this sucks. Like this, I'm like, yeah, this feels like something I would have made in high school. But like at the same time, too, like it added to the charm. I'm like, oh yeah,
like it had a big campiness to it.
Yeah,
because it's like, okay, we're giving you the bullshit. Now let's show you what it really is. And so it's like, oh, this is a live streamed first episode of a zombie horror show. I'm like, who comes up with this? One take, no cuts.
Yeah, honestly,
like that was the biggest improv it was very good. Like knowing the full context, I'm like, okay, so somebody got fucked up and drunk, or somebody else, has a very sensitive stomach, so they got a case of the runs and all this other stuff. And I was just like, he signed himself up for something he wasn't really prepared for. And you could see he was taking a lot of the bullshit and the brunt of things because he was just like, well, I agreed to it. They're looking for somebody. It's a check. Definitely his wife and his daughter were his saving graces. Because if he didn't have both of them there, that would have been a huge colossal failure. Because like the one scene where the one guy drunk all the sake and he's just all fucked up, and he's just like, I'm like, if I was a director, I would have him fired and escorted off the property immediately. I don't care what this. Sorry, I thought I heard a phone ringing. I don't care like what his reasoning is. Like, dude, you have to film. Like, oh, you got nerves. Okay, that's fine. Be nervous on screen. Like, redirect that nervous energy into your role.
Right.
But him being fucked up and drunk actually made it work 100 times better.
Yeah.
Every bad thing, I have to say, that dude took all of that in great stride, because if that was any other director, they would have been pulling their hair out, bleeding from the scalp. Because the second in the other instance where the lady got into like a fender bender for like having an affair or something like that, or it was something I missed the subtitle because stuff was going pretty fast. Like all of that, I would have been if I was in this same position, I would have started sweating bullets. There's no way on God's green earth I could have done any of that and improvised it to be what it is. Like, oh, the crane fell. What are we going to do? Human pyramid. Just improvise a crane human pyramid style. Or like how his wife got so into her role, she went off script. What do we do? Roll with it. We're just going to knock the bitch out. She wasn't a bitch. Let me correct that. It's just a saying because, it's just a saying. She was a very nice woman. She did her part in the movie to help out. And honestly, her going off script really added to the terror once you figured out, like, oh, she's full method acting. And that was probably one of my favorite scenes when she was about to really hurt that other actress. I wasn't laughing, but I was chuckling because I was like, oh boy, somebody's gonna get fucked up.
I like my favorite thing watching it again, like on rewatch, just like all like the things that you think are just like really stupid, shitty mistakes in the beginning. Like it's cool to give context for things, but like the things where it's just like my favorite part is how they just like they're trying to set up the human pyramid. Well, in the beginning, you see like at the last shot, they're just stuck on her screaming, and she's screaming for like a minute and a half, 2 minutes, and you're like, what the fuck is this? Like, why is she just screaming? Like, why? What is going on with the shot? And then it comes to the end where you see it being filmed, and it's in the background. They're just trying to set up a human pyramid and set stuff up, and you can see the director like, no, you got to keep filming this, keep going, set stuff up in the background, just things like that, where it's like, you're like, this is like awful. Like, what am I watching? What was this decision? Like, this is elementary stuff, and then you realize it's just like all like a joke. Like, there's some weird payoff in the end for every little thing.
Yeah, no, that's true. I feel like the more watches with this movie, the more I would get out of it. Like my first watch, like I was like more confused. So I was like, what is this movie? But like now, like going through the whole thing, I'm like I kind of understand it a little bit more. Like, I don't know. Like at first I was like, oh, this is really bad. And then it kind of turned into something like a little bit more creative, like with itself. Like it seems like a movie that is like the first of its kind, like I don't know any other movie that's like this where like the making of the movie is like the actual movie kind of thing. And then like the first time, it's almost like the first time you see the actual movie, it's like not really what you expected, because it's kind of so out. You see the other moving parts.
Yeah, I have to agree. Like once all the moving parts finally were set in the places that happened as we saw in like the first 30-ish, 40-ish minutes, I think it was. Like that whole segment took place. I was like, okay, now it makes sense why they were improving when the person hit the door. Like, oh, now it makes sense why she was just screaming her head off because they were trying to cover up, active bloopers that were happening.
Right.
And, try to make it the best project possible, which all things granted, like, yes, in the beginning, I was like, this sucked, but seeing everything else, now I'm just like, for what he went through, getting pitched the idea to, pick it up, meeting all of his crew, being belittled the entire time by, some of these young and prominent actors and stuff. He really came out on top. Like, he filmed to the best of his ability. Like, their whole thing was like, oh, you're average. Your average will be the best. And I'm like, that's kind of bullshit to just put a director down as just average, because none of them could have even remotely replicated what he achieved. Like, oh, I've got somebody else who's been secretly reading my script. Well, how many times have you read it? About 100. Perfect, you're in. Well, what about you? Oh, I want to be a director like my dad. Well, get her out of here. Wait, hold on. Don't touch me. Let me offer you up some, young free advice on how to improve this from another standpoint. Like, all of that really just added to it. And the fact that he himself was a very excellent method actor. Because what he did reminded me of, I can't think of the guy's name from The Fly, but how he was doing all the body method acting. And, like he had, the fly head, and then like parts of his body were a fly and stuff. Like how on the fly he was like, he was obviously letting some of his emotion go from being just tormented by everybody, but it cemented like, this is the real frustration a director goes through. I'm not going to say on every set, but on a lot of sets when you have, your divas and prima donnas and people who are like, I don't really even need to be here. My agent just signed me up for this little bullshit thing because it was the first thing to come his way, And I just think the fact that at the end, him and his daughter kind of reconciled, I want to say, quote unquote, because, you could tell like he missed having it's a parental thing. Like, oh, I miss how, we were when you were younger, like, you were always underneath me and now you don't really want anything to do with me. And she saw him looking at those photos from when she was younger, like trying to make himself cry naturally. And, the tears were coming, but it's not an easy thing to make yourself cry on command. Right. And then, at the end, they recreated that one picture where she's on his shoulders and she's, holding the camera on the human pyramid, just, focusing on the outro pan of the one actress. And then, at the end, she hands the photo back to him and, they don't say the words, but the smiles and the head nods and everything just allude to, like, I understand that, we've kind of drifted apart, but thank you for letting me back in on doing something that you inspired me to do and that we both enjoy doing.
Yeah, I really like
to watch somebody else talk. Please, I'm eating.
Go ahead, Tony.
Yeah, I do really like the human element of like the second half of the film. And like yeah, I don't know. I think like most directors would probably try a couple of things and it would fall apart after the third mistake. Like the third crazy thing happens. It's like, all right, we got to find a way to. And then they had the still where it says technical difficulties, we'll be right back or something, ready to like put on the screen in case something was messed up, and they just kept pushing through it. And I thought that was really cool. I think it's really impressive if you think about it, like the second part, if you think about what they're actually filming, they're filming like actors filming actors. It's like two levels of acting at the same time on the same screen. And it's like extremely impressive that they were able to pull that together.
I thought about that too. Like, imagine it if like the camera, if there was actual like behind the scenes making of like the movie, like how many like cameras like it'll be just like so much to comprehend,
They
It's like,
kind of had that with the end credits. It's like the actual
yeah,
filming of it.
right, yeah, that's true. Yeah, that is true. That is, I was like thinking about that the whole time too, and
Yeah.
like I like that there was like little character moments, like with the one actor who was like the drunk guy, the drunk zombie who comes back, and he's like talking about like how he doesn't have contact with his daughter, and he was talking to the director about like all his sorrows and everything. And I thought that was like a little like neat little character moment, and like each character has like their own backstory and like reasoning why they're pursuing acting, and like that one lady who does like the self-defense, like the palm whatever like that was like set up and like paid off. That was fun. And I did like, I mean, even though the first like, I don't know, 30 minutes or so, like I thought it was cheesy, but I thought it was like well framed and like blocked and everything, like where everyone was and like with the camera moving and everything. And I was like trying to figure out like how they did it and like where the cuts were. I'm assuming there was like a few cuts like when they like went into door frame and that kind of stuff. That's kind of what I was looking for. Like I was more interested in like how they made it, and then once that second part came up, it was like, oh, now I'm a little bit more engaged in like the story itself. But I feel like the more I watch this movie, the more I would like get out of it. The first time watching it, I was like it was a little jarring because I was like, I have no idea what this is.
I was like, what the fuck is this? Is this another Japanese movie?
Yeah.
I said to myself, and I was like, Tony, I'm going to kick your ass if you just have me watching this weird fucking movie.
Right. That's literally what my girlfriend was saying. She was like, tell Tony this movie sucks. And
Can you imagine if that was an hour and 40 minutes of that?
I was wondering. I was like, and then like that movie ended, and I was like, oh, at least it was short. And then like this other movie comes on. I'm like, what the fuck? What is this?
I'm glad it didn't get spoiled for you. I was gonna tell you guys not to look anything up, but I think it would. I was like, I'd rather just not say anything and like hope it goes well, and it did. So,
yeah, I heard of the movie, but like I didn't really know what to expect either.
Yeah,
I knew jack shit about this movie. I walked in fully blind. I was like, okay, this looks like I thought it was going to be like one of those low budget movies that turns into high quality, later on. Because I've seen a couple of them. It's not unheard of to do that.
Right.
But I was definitely like, boy, like listening to her scream for like that, for like 2 or 3 minutes. I'm like, God in.
And I feel like the acting was like deliberately bad in the beginning.
Yeah. Because you could tell like after the first initial viewing, it was like, okay, these people have real acting talent.
Right. That's how I felt about it too. I was like, oh, okay, there's actually something behind this,
Yeah.
And it took a while for me to realize it.
You have to be a good actor to act at being bad. Like,
right.
It's like being a good comedian and trying to bomb. It's not a easy thing to do.
Right, that is true. You're like a professional at it.
But this was definitely a very fun watch. I don't know if I'd watch or subjugate myself to this again. I'd probably torture somebody else with this, Tony. But
yeah, I think that would be the way for me to watch it again, would be showing it to somebody else and go like, oh, what do you think of this? Just like their visceral reaction out of it. But I don't know if I almost wish we watched it all as a group, like Tony was in on it. I feel like that would have been a little bit more enjoyable. But for what it was definitely a fun time. Like my girlfriend was complaining all the time. I was like thinking, like, did Tony make his girlfriend watch this? Did Tessa watch it?
No, she would not watch that.
Oh man, no. I was like, that was like what I was imagining the whole time in my head. I'm like,
I could do that. You gave me a good idea. Maybe I'll watch it again.
Yeah, can you do that? And let us know that this BSBS would happen.
Let us know if you're still alive.
Yeah.
Because boy, watching this movie, it took a lot to just get past that beginning. But once you got past it, everything else was a lot of fun. It was, you could tell this was kind of a passion project. Like, hey, you guys want to get together, make a silly movie about making a silly movie?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go into ratings, like my rating. I thought this was a fun time. Like, is it a movie I would watch again or like really enjoy? I don't know. Like I said, it depends on like the audience who I could showcase this to. I'd probably give this like it's really well made and like it's original for what it is. But like for me personally, my own personal taste, like I'd probably just give it a 6. But like for it being like its own one of a kind, like it definitely deserves a higher rating. Maybe the more I watch it, the more I enjoy it. But like for right now, I'll give it a 6.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow behind Josh. This is definitely something that I would have to be, somebody would have to be like, hey, do you want to go check this movie out? It's a Japanese movie, so it could be good, could be bad. I've got a couple of Japanese horror movies I like, or, just not even horror, but, just Japanese movies in general. It's definitely something that's an original that nobody else could ever hope to reproduce because of just the nature of the film. I'm gonna give it, a very solid 7.5. The fact that you have, oh God, excuse me. The fact that you have, I'm sure, like, overseas they're very well known, but the fact that you have actors acting as young actors in a upstart TV show movie, like that took a lot of skill to do, and just also the fact that the whole time everybody's got their own little personal battles and stuff that they're trying to do and overcome and whatnot. Like with the husband, he's just perceived as average, like, oh, what you got will just be fine, we don't care. Or how the wife was an actor when she was younger, but like, oh, she would lose herself into character, so that's why she was forced into no longer being an actress. Or how the younger Japanese guy was like, you hit me, nobody else has ever hit me. And then the wife hit him and was like, you heard what he said. Get, get your shit together. Like, it's just little nodes to what it means to be, an actor forced into retirement, a young actor who, everybody kind of still kisses your ass because you're young, you're hot, you're popping, and so on and so forth. This is definitely a movie I would probably show somebody drunk because they would laugh their ass off. Like, what is this?
Right. I feel like I definitely needed a couple of drinks to like get into that mindset. I do
like
agree with you.
a beer or 3 definitely would have helped me. I understand where you're going with it, Josh. But it's a fun movie. I'm not gonna say I would never watch it again.
Yeah,
but it's definitely something that I think that I would only watch in the right circumstances with the right group of people.
I would agree.
This isn't a movie everybody would just enjoy because first off, it's not in English, and everybody's like, "Oh, I only want to watch it in the language I understand." And then you have other people who are like, "Well, it's a movie. It could be good. It could be bad."
I just, before Tony gets into his thoughts, I just want to get into this comment by Dennis. He told us to watch Battle Royale. I remember he did show me it, and I remember it wasn't very good. But
I've seen that movie. It's chill. It's cool.
I think it wasn't some other movie that's kind of like it came out.
It's like Hunger Games.
That's what it was.
Way more fucked up.
Yeah. It was like Hunger Games, and we're like, oh, this is more ballsy than Hunger Games, and we like started watching, and we just didn't finish it. It was just like a movie that just fell through. But I just wanted to address the comment. All right, Tony.
My final thoughts. Watching the beginning part again was a little difficult. I'm not gonna lie. Having already seen it, like I knew it was going on. Like I haven't seen it long enough to like know what was being set off and paid off. Like I kind of forgot like the specifics, but like I knew the twist, so it was a little hard to watch again. But it was. But I don't know. I really like. I think the final act like pulls it together. I think it's really creative, really impressive. I'd probably give it like a 8, an 8, just because it can be hard to watch, but it's really good. And I was thinking about this on this viewing. The whole movie is kind of like Back to the Future Part 2.
I was literally like gonna say that, but I
didn't
didn't.
wanna
I
say
was
it.
gonna say that. I literally was about to say it, and I stopped myself from making a Back to the Future reference.
Like I
I'm glad
definitely
you
got the
said that.
vibes, but I was like, maybe I'm just imagining things.
Oh yeah, it definitely felt because of like it was going back to like the movie prior, like in both circumstances. So like I stopped myself from saying that. I was like about to say it, and then I stopped myself. So I'm glad you said it for me.
Thank you for saying what was on our minds.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna hold back no more.
Yeah, you keep just say it. You got something, you just say it. So yeah, that was One Cut of the Dead.
That was definitely an interesting movie.
It was.
It was.
I didn't hate it, but it was definitely an experience.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
All right, so it's time for Jerry's picks for next episode, next viewing. So
Yes.
Jerry, what do you got for us?
So I need to make sure this is the right short, but for the short, we're going to watch the first episode of Barry on HBO Max.
Okay.
Like Barry as BRRY, like a blueberry, or Barry as like
Barry like Barry Allen.
Oh,
It's the Bill Hader show.
Yeah, the Bill Hader show.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Because I've had that sitting on my HBO watch list for a while. It was recommended to me years and years ago. So I was like, okay, this seems like a good time to pull this out and make myself watch it.
Yeah.
And then for the feature film, we will be watching The Big Lebowski.
Oh, yeah. Cool.
I just watched that like last month, and it was great.
Okay. Well, if you don't want to be spoiled for Barry, the show, and The Big Lebowski, make sure to watch that before next episode. Those are really good choices.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Dennis even agrees with you, Jerry.
Because I've seen clips of Barry, and I was like, "This looks interesting." So let me, sit down and watch a full episode.
All right, I'm down for that. That'll be cool.
We're gonna drink White Russians while we do the.
Yeah, we should. That's a good idea.
Thing, I never knew what a White Russian was until somebody showed me this movie, and they made me one while we watched it. And I was like, I can never go back. Like, whenever I go to a bar, the first thing I ask, can you guys make me a White Russian?
They sound nasty as hell, but they're really good.
What's in it exactly? It's like milk and what is it?
It's like
milk and rum, I think.
Coffee liqueur and something else. Like it's one of those drinks that you do when you're just kind of just chilling, not doing a whole lot, and you just need something to give you a little bit of a buzz. Yeah. Like it's a very end of the week. It's been bullshit. I just need something to just take the edge off.
Oh man, I don't think I could have that. If there's rum in it, I can't have it.
It says I was wrong. This one says vodka and coffee liqueur.
Oh, I see vodka. Okay, I could do the vodka version.
Vodka, Kahlua, heavy cream. So yeah, it's vodka, heavy cream, and yeah.
Okay, I could do that one.
I don't know why I thought it was rum.
I thought it was rum too, honestly.
Yeah, I know it's coffee liqueur because of the Kahlua. I forgot about the heavy cream. But yes, if you don't want to be spoiled for Barry or the Big Lebowski, watch before next BatYard's Finest episode.
Yeah. So 3, 2, 1. This is Josh sending you off, up, and away until next BatYard's Finest episode.
This is Jerry guiding you all with Green Lantern's light.
This is Tony from Star City.
And we're becoming super pals, one episode at a time.
Thank you. Goodbye, everybody.
Good night, everybody.